So the Atlanta Falcons have a new quarterback, Mr. Kirk Cousins. Let's talk about that.
Bijan Robinson. Man, y'all better watch out. That was the right pick. Man, with Raheem Morris and all of our weapons, man, it's looking good. I tell you one thing, we better get that quarterback right, or we ain't going nowhere.
Thank you for tuning in to the Checkdown. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification button so you can stay up to date with the latest videos that we post. So Kirk Cousins, I'm rooting for Kirk Cousins because I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan, diehard fan. And Kirk Cousins is just a very likable person. And I know this is not about if the guy's likable or not. But if you watch the series Quarterback last year on Netflix, it's a cool dude, man. You got to give it to him. You like him. I like him. And so that's why, it's tough for me to really get excited about this move. Well, what do you mean? Well, I mean that I like Kirk Cousins, but I have a pretty significant concern that people are overlooking. Kirk Cousins is 35, will be 36 years old when the season starts. And he's coming off of a major injury. He tore his Achilles. That's major. And as you get older, your body doesn't heal the same way. I mean, will he play the first game? Will he play the second game? Will he get injured again? I hope not. But a 4-year, $180 million contract with $100 million guaranteed for someone who can't perform at the signing of the contract, that's very risky. And I've heard the justification around why we should get Kirk Cousins. We have Terry Fontenot, whose job may be on the line, so he didn't want to risk getting a rookie quarterback. He wanted to get the best quarterback out there. And sometimes the best quarterback out there is not the best quarterback. Go back to 2 years ago when we drafted Desmond Ridder. Very weak quarterback draft. Okay? We didn't jump up to the first round to draft a quarterback based on what was available. We waited until the third round. And that's kind of how I feel about this move. Again, I want Kirk to be successful, but I am very concerned about the injury. I need to see him play. I need to see him be successful as a quarterback. I need to see him throw the ball in practice. It's very concerning. And when you think about it, this draft is replete with dynamic, promising quarterbacks who we could sign to a rookie deal. So why would we go get an older quarterback who's at the end of his career? I mean, seriously, there's so many good quarterbacks out there. Now, I understand that there's no guarantee that a rookie quarterback will perform well. I'm with that. And there's no guarantee that Kirk Cousins will properly heal, will be the same Kirk Cousins that our GM and our front office fell in love with. There's no guarantee. And I know there are no guarantees in life, but I think we're beginning to settle. Because what I hear from the national talking heads and even the people locally on radio, they say that we'll win the division. We'll win the NFC South. Big deal. Big deal. Because as Falcons fans, we've had a taste of the Super Bowl twice with no victories. We want the same thing that other teams want. Don't short sell us to make the playoffs. We almost made the playoffs last year and the year before and the year before that. Just to go home after the first round? No, I want to be a real contender, and I want a long-term plan. That's why I don't understand why we didn't draft a quarterback. And I know it's not over. We could still draft a quarterback with number 8. But now that we have Kirk Cousins and we're going to be all in with Kirk Cousins, we need to use that. We should use that number 8 pick to get some more talent around Kirk Cousins. It would be nice to pick up Michael Penix Jr. if he's still there. But it might be even better to get Malik Neighbors, to get Rome Odunze. And if by any chance we could get Marvin Harrison Jr., get him. Or what about some of those defensive players, those edge rushers? It could work out. I'm just concerned about the injury. And there's quite a bit of hyperbole around Kirk Cousins, who I really like. You know, he led the league. He was leading the league in passing yards when he got injured. Well, Sam Howell led the league in passing yards too. And he's probably not going to be starting this year. So let's keep things in perspective. When Kirk Cousins got injured, they were 4-4. And what I would recommend that you do as a Falcons fan is go back and watch the NFL Plus replays of the 8 Vikings game from 2023. Watch those games because it'll give us some perspective on how well Kirk Cousins played and what we can expect. Because that was like one of his best years. That was cut short. So we don't really know how well Kirk would have played. We really don't. We just know he played well leading up to his injury, which was 8 games in. And so to me, it's a big risk. It's a humongous risk. Because now we have $100 million guaranteed tied up into Kirk Cousins. And I know it's the going rate. I've heard all the justifications about how much a quarterback costs. Okay? You all know that Kirk Cousins hasn't been good in the postseason. He's won 1 playoff game over the last 12 years. And hopefully he can turn that around. But he's been throwing to one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the league. That'll make it easy for you. That'll make it easier for you. Maybe not easy. One of the things that'll tell you that we may have reached is that when you listen to some of the pundits across the country, and even locally, the expectation is not that we're a contender. People are saying things like, well, at least they'll be relevant. What? I don't want to just be relevant. We would have been relevant with Justin Fields running all over the field, whether we lost or not. It would have been exciting football to watch, and I'm not saying that was the play. Even though, if we would have brought Justin Fields in and he didn't work out, we could move on. We wouldn't have a $100 million guaranteed bill due as we do now. And if Justin Fields works out, we had a young quarterback that we could build around. Maybe my thinking is flawed. I don't know. I'm not the GM of the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not the president of the Atlanta Falcons or the or the AMB crew. I'm just a seasoned ticket holder fan that's been committed to the Atlanta Falcons since the 1970s. And I'm concerned. And so what I'm going to do is if you have any comments or recommendations, or you think what I'm saying is spot on or maybe not spot on, maybe I need to rethink some things, please Voice your opinion in the comments below, and I'll be sure to address them. Let's have a community forum. I'm not trying to say that I'm right and others are wrong. I'm just saying that I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the injury. I am. And I'm concerned that who Kirk Cousins was before the injury was not worth $100 million guaranteed. I know that's what quarterbacks make, but I think we can be a little smarter with our money. And so I have mixed feelings. I want Arthur Blank to get that Super Bowl. He's not getting any younger. And it would be great if we got it under Kirk Cousins with all of the weapons that we have. I just honestly don't believe that that's possible with Kirk. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he goes out there and lights it up. I really do. But quite honestly, like a lot of fans, a little worried. All the optimism that I had when we got Raheem Morris and the offensive coordinator, all of that optimism is now bruised. It's not gone, but somewhat deflated. Because I just don't understand why we won't get our quarterback, our own franchise quarterback from the draft, in a deep quarterback-driven draft this year. And maybe we still will. But like I said, now that we have Kirk, I'd like to give him even more weapons. And this is a deep wide receiver draft. It is. And so I'm still rooting for my Falcons. There's virtually nothing that the Atlanta Falcons can do to get me off the bandwagon. I will always be there. But that doesn't mean that I won't have questions. I may not agree with some of the moves that they make, and that I may not be worried or concerned. But that's why I'm sitting in the fan seat and not the GM seat. Because I'm trusting that they know best. I'm trusting that they know exactly what we need to do, and not someone who's looking in from the outside. Thanks for stopping by. For the latest updates and information, and to get notified when we launch and post new videos, be sure to subscribe and like the videos as well. Thank you.